Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. Sorry if the audio is a bit muffled, it's kind of raining outside, so forgive me for that, for making a video right now of all times. But today, I wanted to make a video. Actually kind of excited to make this video, during like the writing and such. I was kind of happy to make this video and I was, feeling very excited about it. So I hope you guys have as much fun watching this as I did writing this and preparing it and all that. Again, I really hope you guys like it, and yeah, as said, I had a lot of fun making it, so I hope it does get popular over time. So guys, without further ado, let me explain what this video is about, because it's going to be a long video, at least in my opinion, and so I do not want to keep you waiting, nor do I want to keep this intro long. So this video is going to be all the complete Star Wars timeline, everything Star Wars in the timeline, from beginning to end. And I'm also gonna give all the character ages. So with every movie or whatever I'm doing, I'll be giving the character ages, main characters throughout that timeline. So that's what this video is about. This video is gonna be me giving you the complete history of Star Wars, the complete Star Wars timeline, beginning to end, and for every piece of Star Wars media I review, I will also give you the character ages through those things. So guys, again, I don't want to keep this intro to be very long, so let me try and be quick about it. This is complete Star Wars timeline, all character ages. Um, Before I start, let me just say there are a few ground rules here. For one, I am only going to be talking about the Star Wars movies, the TV shows, and the video games. And when I mean video games, I mean video games released ever since Disney owned the company. So what I mean by that is I'll only be talking about Battlefront 2 and Jedi Fallen Order. Those will be the only two video games I'm talking about. So there will be no Knights of the Old Republic, there will be no Force Unleashed, there will be none of that. I'm only going to be talking about things that occurred ever since Disney bought the company. So everything else that's not on this list, TV shows, games, and movies, will not be counted. Books and comics will not be counted. Visual dictionaries also will not be counted. Whatever you may ask me will not be counted. The only things I'm including are the TV shows, the movies, and the games. So guys, please, again, I don't want to keep you waiting. Let me jump straight into this. Sit back, relax, and watch me as I talk about each and every Star Wars media, movie, comic, shiggly blah, whatever, in this video, the complete Star Wars timeline and all of the character ages. So, please enjoy. Starting off at the beginning, we have at 33 BBY, The Phantom Menace. So the Phantom Menace, when I mean BBY, you obviously know that timestamp means before the Battle of Yavin. So as we know, the Battle of Yavin happened in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. So that's when the Battle of Yavin took place. So when I mean BBY, I mean before Battle of Yavin, and when I mean ABY, I mean after Battle of Yavin. So starting off at the beginning of this calendar, time, whatever, history. So starting off at the beginning of the calendar, we have 33 BBY, The Phantom Menace, in which we are accompanied by our Jedi Qui-Gon Jinn, aged 60 years old, with his young apprentice Obi-Wan Kenobi, 27 years old. So these two go on a Republic mission to help the Queen Padme Amidala, who is 14 years old, and her senator Palpatine, 63 years old. However, Naboo gets invaded, and these guys have to run to a desert planet where they meet a young boy named Anakin, 10 years old, who has midichlorians in his body. He seems to have a high count of midichlorians. So Qui-Gon decides to take him back to the Jedi Temple and ask whether Anakin can be trained as a Jedi if he is truly the chosen one. Before they escape the planet, they're attacked by a Sith Lord named Darth Maul, who at this point in time is 22 years old. They get to the Jedi Temple where they meet Yoda and Mace Windu. Yoda is 863 at this point in time, and Mace Windu is 40 years old. The movie ends with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan fighting Maul. Qui-Gon sadly dies during the fight, and Obi-Wan has to raise Anakin to be his apprentice. And in case all of you dummies wondering, Jar Jar is 20 at this point in time. Then we jump 10 years in the future to 23 BBY, where we have Attack of the Clones. Obi-Wan and Anakin have aged 10 years now. Anakin is 20, Obi-Wan is 37, and Anakin now has the hots for Padme, who is now 24. If I'm correct, yeah, 24. So these guys are only 4 years apart from each other, and yeah. So these guys now have to protect Padme, who could be possibly who is under assassination by Count Dooku, who is 8 years old at this time. He wants to kill Padme because his master tells him to. At this point in time, we have Yoda, who is 873 years old, Boba Fett, who's 10 years old, Mace, who is 50, Palpatine is 73, and Jar Jar is 30 for all of your Nick and Popes out there. So again, the movie goes with Anakin protecting Padme and ensuring that she's safe. However, they get captured in Geonosis. Obi-Wan joins them as well, and the Battle of Geonosis happens with Yoda and and Mace Windu coming in the clones and such. Again, Palpatine is only 73 at this point in time, as well as Padme, who is only 24, and I think I've covered most of the people. Boba Fett is 10 years old at this time. I tried looking for Jango Fett, they don't have his age. So let's move on. Next, we have the Clone Wars TV show, which takes place in between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. The Clone Wars lasts for about 3 years, so it goes from 20 to 23 to 20 BBY. So again, I won't mention the main characters from the movies. Instead, I'll mention the characters in the show who show up like exclusively in the shows. So we have Maul, who is at the age of 33 to 36. That's the amount of time he aged in the show, because the show is 3 years long, as I said. Ahsoka is introduced at the beginning of the war at 14, and she ends it at 17. Rex and all the other clones who are created are 9 to 12 years old in the show. I guess they would be around the same age as Boba Fett, but I think Boba was an early copy, like he was their prototype. So Rex and the other clones are 9 to 12 years old in the show, which brings us to Revenge of the Sith, 20 BBY. And yes, it's 20 BBY, not 19 BBY. All of you start saying it's 19 BBY from Revenge of the Sith to Return to A New Hope. Shut the hell up. It's my video, my history, my timeline, my kind of. Shut up. It's 20 BBY. Okay? So in 20 BBY, we have Revenge of the Sith. Anakin is 23 years old and Obi-Wan is 40 years old. These guys go to rescue the Chancellor Palpatine, who at this time is 76 years old. They kill Count Dooku, who is 83 years old, and they come back to the planet where they split off several ways. The Jedi Council makes Anakin a spy on Palpatine. Yoda and Mace Windu also sense that there is a darkness covering the Chancellor, surrounding the Chancellor. They feel like there's a Sith Lord who could be controlling the Chancellor. Yoda at this time is 867. Mace Windu is 53 years old. Yoda goes to the planet Kashyyyk to go fight in the war, and he meets with a Wookiee named Chewbacca, who at this point in time is 180 years old. However, Order 66 happens and kills off majority of the Jedi in this movie, so nearly every Jedi is dead except for a handful. Obi-Wan Kenobi goes into hiding, carrying Anakin's children with him, and gives them to Owen and Beru Lars. Yoda also goes into hiding, and most of the other Jedi as well. Palpatine rules as the Empire, and now he goes under his secret Sith name, Darth Sidious. So that's what the Jedi will refer to him from now on. Jump 5 years in the future, 15 BBY. This is now the Imperial era. So we have Jedi Fallen Order. Haven't played the game yet, and I'm only focusing on one character because I could care less about the others. We have Cal Kestis, who at the time of Order 66 was 12 years old. However, as mentioned, 5 years have passed, so in game story he is now 17 years old, trying to survive against the might of the Empire. So he has to suffer the might of the Empire. The rebellion is not fully formed at this point, therefore we cannot say there is a strong fight against the Empire. However, jump 5 years into the future, 10 BBY, we meet a young Han Solo. At this point in time, Han is 20 years old as he tries to escape his cold, horrible planet of Corellia. It's called horrible, corrupt planet of Corellia. There we go. I said it right. First try. Dun-dun-dun-dun. On the way out of Corellia, he meets this Wookiee named Chewbacca, who at this point in time is 190 years old. He also runs into a fellow gangster pirate dude named Lando Calrissian, who is 33 years old at this time. So at this point in time, the rebellion also hasn't fully formed, though the seeds of the rebellion are there. It's there and it's beginning to form, and now the Empire is also sensing a shift here. Jump forward another 4 years to 6 to 2 BBY in the show Rebels. So Rebels takes place over a span of 4 years, from 6 to 2 BBY, and we have the main character Ezra Bridger, who ages from 14 to 18, who was a street rat and now ends the show a Jedi Knight, though disappears. Kanan Jarrus also runs through the show, 20 to 24 years old. He was also present during Order 66, and he was just a mere Padawan when it happened. He died in the show Rebels. Hera Syndulla, also aged 24 to 28, though she lives on and even fights during the Battle of Endor. Sabine Wren, ages 16 to 20, and goes to look for Ezra after the show's run. Garab Zeb Aurelius also lived 38 to 42 years old, and he went to go live on his own planet after the war. Ahsoka Tano lived 31 to 35 years old and went to go look for Ezra. Rex lived 26 to 30, though was also present at the Battle of Endor. Rest in peace, Rex. Please get a good retirement. Saw Gerrera also aged 40 to 44 years old. Same age as Mon Mothma, who also aged 40 to 44 years old. So these guys were around the same age. Next, we come to Zero BBY. So this is 2 years after the end of the show Rebels, and we run into this movie called Rogue One. So Rogue One takes place 0 BBY just maybe a few weeks or so before A New Hope. So Rogue One, we focus on Jyn Erso, who at this point in time is 22 years old. Chirrut Imwe is 52 years old. Director Orson Krennic is 51 years old. Mon Mothma is 46, and Saw Gerrera is 46. Therefore, leading us into 0 BBY within the same year, maybe within the same week, day or week, because depending on how you look at the movie's ending, it's the same day. We come into Episode 4, A New Hope. 0 BBY, meaning every event we refer to after this movie will be known as ABY, after the Battle of Yavin. So from now on, the timeline calendar will be ABY. But 0 BBY, we meet Luke Skywalker and Leia Organa, who are both 20 years old. Again, these are the twins from the end of Revenge of the Sith, so of course they would be the same age. They also meet Han Solo, who's 30 years old, who gives Luke and his friend Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is 60 years old, a ride to the Death Star to rescue Princess Leia. There they meet Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, who is now 43 years old. Also being his partner in crime is Grand Moff Tarkin, who is 64 years old. At this point in time, Han Solo's fellow friend and companion Chewbacca is 200 years old. They destroy the Death Star and go home happy, thus are all their ages. We jump to 3 ABY, The Empire Strikes Back. Luke and Leia are now 23 years old. Han is 33 years old. Chewbacca is 203 years old. They meet a fellow crew sly dude named Lando Calrissian, who owns Cloud City, at the age of 46 years old. He is also the same age as Darth Vader, who at this point in time is 46 years old, twice the age of his children. They meet Boba Fett, who is 32 years old at this point in time, and Yoda is 899 years old. Jump to one more year to 4 ABY, where we jump into the episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Luke and Leia are 24, Han is 34, Lando is 47, Chewbacca is 204. Vader also moved by 1 year, making him 47 years old. At this point in time, Emperor Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious, is now 100 years old. Meaning, wow, man has aged well if you ask me. Except for the ugly lightning face, if you know what I'm saying. Also, Boba Fett is 33 years old before he got eaten by the Sarlacc pit. Yoda has reached 900 years old and died at this age, in bed. So, nice way to die if you ask me. Jabba the Hutt is 600 years old. He's 400 years older than Chewbacca. What the hell? And Admiral Akbar is 56 years old. For all of those fans who thought I was going to leave out Akbar. Yeah, no. I also didn't include Jar Jar in Revenge of the Sith because, like, who cares about Jar Jar? But if you were so desperate to know, he was 33 then. But let's hope he died afterwards, you know? Jump one more year after Return of the Jedi to Battlefront 2, the video game, 5 ABY. Well, it starts at the end of Return of the Jedi, but it also ends 1 year after Return of the Jedi. We have Iden Versio. I don't care about any other characters, so let's just focus on Iden. Iden Versio is 56 years old at this point in time. Ben Solo, the son of Leia Organa and Han Solo, was just born around this time. He's probably a few weeks or months old. And then in Battlefront 2 we have the Battle of Jakku, where the last Empire ship fell down for good. Ish, if you're not kind, First Order or Final Order. So during the Battle of Jakku, the Empire fell for good, and to celebrate their victory, somewhere halfway across the galaxy in Cloud City, Han Solo and Lando Calrissian had a dance battle playing I'm feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine. I'm living Cloud City, you can't stop. I'm solo, I'm riding solo, riding solo, I'm riding solo, so poor. I'm naked. So the age of the Empire is over, and so is the age of rebellion. Therefore, we come into the new age of the New Republic. So before we had the Old Republic, then we had the Empire, then the Rebellion. Now we have the New Republic. The New Republic takes place, well, relatively soon after the Battlefront era. So picking up 9 ABY, 5 years after Return of the Jedi, we have the Mandalorian. Main character is Din Djarin, who on the Wikipedia it says he's 36 to 39 years old. So for the sake of my own sanity and to prevent my OCD from kicking through the roof, I'll say he's 36 years old. So he made Din Djarin, a Mandalorian who's 36 years old, who takes care of a baby Yoda, alien species not identified yet, who is 50 years old at this point in time, but still like a toddler. Therefore, we jump now into the far future, 30 years after Return of the Jedi, also known as 34 ABY, we have Resistance, where we meet Kazuda Siono, who is 16 years old as a Resistance spy. But no one talks about Resistance, right? So let's talk about why we're really here. 30 years after Return of the Jedi, we have 34 ABY, The Force Awakens, where we meet a young Rey on the planet Jakku, who is 19 years old. She gets met by a young droid named BB-8, whose owner was Poe Dameron, who at this point in time was 32 years old. However, Poe gave BB-8 to Finn. No, actually that's not right. Finn finds BB-8. Finn is an ex-stormtrooper who is 23 years old at this point in time. He joins BB-8 and Rey as they go on their adventure to evade the First Order. They meet Han Solo and Chewbacca. Han Solo is 64 years old at this point in time, and Chewie is 234 at this point in time. They evade space pirates and the First Order, and they go to Mars's castle on Takodana. Mars Kanata at this point in time is 1,000 years old. That's right, folks. She's older than Yoda. That's something. And in the First Order, we have folks such as General Hux and Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is the leader of the Knights of Ren at 29 years old, again born 1 year after Return of the Jedi. General Hux is 34 years old, making him slightly older than Kylo Ren, and obviously meant he was around during the time of the Empire. Soon, our heroes meet the Resistance and they run into Leia Organa, who at this point in time is 54 years old, meaning her brother Luke is also 54, but is not introduced in this movie. Again, as said, I'm only introducing characters to the movies where they have a specific, purpose to do. If they do not do anything significant to impact the movie or story they're in, I do not count them. That's why you see I exclude characters such as Poe from Resistance, or or Yoda from what am I saying? From A New Hope, because they aren't in those movies. Just in case you're wondering. We jump to The Last Jedi, also in the same year, 34 ABY. I won't bring the same characters I already mentioned, reason being The Last Jedi takes place around the same time as The Force Awakens. In my opinion, it takes place roughly about a week after The Force Awakens, meaning The Last Jedi has almost no time lapse between The Force Awakens and this movie itself. Therefore, if it takes place roughly around a week, I don't need to mention the past characters. Therefore, there are only two characters I need to mention. Luke Skywalker, who at this time is 54 years old, and Admiral Holdo, who is 37 years old, making her 17 years younger than Luke. Then we jump to 35 ABY. This is the last point in the timeline of the Skywalker saga. So whereas we started with Phantom Menace as the first point, the Rise of Skywalker the Rise of Skywalker is the last point in this calendar. It is the last major event that takes place on this, on this timeline. It is the last event on this calendar. So the Rise of Skywalker is the end, and this is the final stage of the complete Skywalker timeline, where we meet Rey, who is now a fully formed Jedi at 20 years old, being trained by Leia, who is 55 years old, making her the longest living Skywalker. Hey, give it up for her. How about that? Way to go, Leia. We also have her son, Kylo Ren, who is 30 years old, who also dies in this film and becomes Ben Solo, looking for Palpatine, who at this point in time is 131 years old. Jesus Christ! And yeah, so Kylo Ren looks for Palpatine. He finds Palpatine. Palpatine tells him, yo, I can give you unlimited power. So it's a race to find out who can get to Palpatine first. Finn, Poe, and Rey all join. Finn, Poe, Chewbacca, and Rey all go to find Palpatine. Finn and Poe at this point in time, Finn is 24 years old, Poe is 33 years old. Chewbacca at this point in time is 235 years old, which in Wookiee terms means he's in his 50s. So even for Chewbacca, he's not that old. Maz Kanata is 1001 years old. Good lord. And it just gets crazy from there. So Rey, Finn, Poe, and Chewie all go to the planet Jakku to see if they can find clues, where they meet the long-lost Lando Calrissian, who said he came here searching for Luke about Ochi's ship. Lando at this point in time is 78 years old and is believed to be the father of what's-her-face. And so the movie ends with all these people celebrating, Rey crafting herself an orangish yellow lightsaber, showing she's the guardian of the new Jedi Order and that she will be the Grandmaster of new things yet to come. And so, guys, that was the entire Star Wars timeline. That was the entire calendar of Star Wars from The Phantom Menace to The Rise of Skywalker, games and TV shows included. As said, I'm not including Knights of the Old Republic and I'm not including other things as well. This is just my rough copy of this. Tell me, did you guys enjoy this video? I really had fun making it. It was a lot of research, but I hope I did well and I hope, I wasn't too repetitive and such like that. Again, don't want to keep on wasting your time, so I'll just keep my outro short and like that. Be sure to like and subscribe. Again, thank you so very much for watching. I thought I said this video was sponsored by someone, but I guess I didn't. And again, I really had fun with this. Tell me, what did you think of my Star Wars timeline? Is there anything I missed outside of the books and comics or the old video games? Or do you feel like I missed out the years? Do you feel like I missed out some characters who should have been in here? Do you feel like I miscalculated the years? Do you feel like I miscalculated the ages? Do you feel like there should have been more characters in here who deserved more mentioning? Please leave your thoughts down in the comments below. This is my thoughts on what the entire Skywalker saga should have been. So this is everything from the age of the Old Republic to the age of the New Republic. Once again, thank you very much for watching. I had a lot of fun making this video. I also rocked really hard on it. So be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate my work. And I appreciate you guys also doing stuff for me as well. I really love you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. How many times have I said that? Sorry. I've been Captain Phoenix. Thank you again for watching. With that, I will see you in another universe.